Morning, everybody. How are y'all doing today? I am pissed. Okay, I'm not pissed. I'm actually having a good day. But I'm pissed with Nintendo because I'm sure, as you all have heard by now, there's been some not great news with regards to the Switch 2, mainly because of pricing issues. And we'll get into that in a moment, but first, I do want to talk about the positives and what I like about it. You know, gotta be a little fair, especially considering the beatdown I'm about to give this thing in a couple minutes. So, I will say, I am pleasantly surprised with how good the hardware is. It looks like it will be using DLSS and AI and all that stuff, but the base system, just in handheld mode, can do 1080p 120 FPS, and in docked mode, it's going to be pushing 4K 60. Now, probably upscaled 4K, but still, for Nintendo hardware, that is mind-blowing. Also, I appreciate that the Joy-Cons have the little triggers that they're like bigger now. They're wider, so that's nice. And I like the mouse feature that they have. I think that's pretty cool. And I can definitely see it being utilized in like Mario Party and whatnot. I mean, they already showed it a little bit, but especially in like future games, I can see that being utilized quite a bit. Also, game sharing. I mean, you know, it's a pretty basic feature, but I guess it's cool that it's there. Also, it has a lot more storage. For the first time ever, a Nintendo console comes with triple-digit storage. Still isn't enough to install Call of Duty, but I guess it's a stepping stone. And that's basically all the positives out of the way. The hardware itself looks very good, and it just looks like a straight upgrade from the Switch, which I am not mad about. Now, with all the positives out of the way, let me spend the next 10 or so minutes ranting about all the god-awful business practices Nintendo's taking part in. First off, their revolutionary new feature that they've introduced known as Game Chat, which is literally just we have Discord at home. When they showed it off in the trailer, I legitimately thought they were adding Discord because it looks the exact same. You have the profile pictures, and then, like, there's the green border around them when somebody's talking, and you can screen share. I literally thought it was Discord integration, but no, it's like Nintendo's own crappy version of it, which, of course, you have to pay to use. God, I love having to pay to access basic online features after I've already bought a piece of hardware. But don't worry, guys, it's all good because you can screen share just like in Discord. In fact, you know what? Why don't we go ahead and watch the clip where they show off the screen sharing, just to see how great of a quality product you're getting for having to pay monthly for it.
Like, where'd you go?
Or expand another friend's game screen.
You gotta get above that wall that's to your left. You're almost there, It's just like the wall. Like, it should...
Look at that beautiful screen sharing at a stellar 5 FPS. I guess maybe you could give them props for at least being upfront with how awful it's gonna be, but they're still charging you money for this. Discord, which is free, has better screen sharing frame rates than this. Not to mention, while we're on the subject of this whole Nintendo voice chat thing, they were very proud of the Switch 2's built-in microphone, talking about how it has like background noise cancellation and whatnot. We'll see how true that actually is. Something tells me it's not gonna be as good as advertised. I cannot believe we are celebrating having the ability to talk to people in a party chat in 2025 as a new feature. Congratulations, Nintendo. Do you want a trophy? Nope, they want 20 bucks a year for it. And here's the thing, I've seen people, especially Gara, call this Nintendo's Xbox One situation, which honestly, I would have to kind of agree with, because there is literally a Kinect camera for this thing, sold separately for $50. Now, what is this thing useful for, you ask? As far as we know, to see your face when you're in the game chat, and maybe for a couple Mario Party mini games. Like, if you have your camera on and you're playing Mario Party, your face will appear next to your character. Which, by the way, just look at this clip.
And there's this. By connecting this camera to the system. Hey!
Hey, what's up? Hello. Yo. Yeah.
Hi, how's everyone doing?
Please look forward to games which use your camera feed like this.
Oh, that was good.
Okay.
No,
Yeah,
wait.
that looks good.
Go
That
left,
looks
go
good.
left, left.
Okay, genuine question. Who the hell wants to play Mario Party with all of those face cams on the screen? That is so distracting. I guarantee after Mario Party gets this implementation, we're gonna see a rise in ADHD diagnoses. I don't know what I'm supposed to be looking at. And don't forget, that's $50 on top of the $450 console, which honestly, I was saying last night on stream, I didn't think was terrible. I've kind of revised my statement. I feel like the console should be $400 because we don't have exact specs yet, but based on what they've said, it seems like it's going to be roughly a portable Series S or so. So, I don't know. I think $450 is a little bit high, especially considering the fact that they are raising game prices. This is the real kick in the balls that everybody's mad about. Mario Kart World, which is their newest Mario Kart game, basically Mario Kart 9, is going to cost $80 base, and if you want the physical copy, you have to pay $90. The industry is so cooked, it's actually insane. GTA 6 is absolutely gonna be $100. I have no doubts now. We need that video game crash to happen, and honestly, this might set it into motion, or maybe it's already been set into motion with all the live service crap, and this is the straw that'll break the camel's back. Who knows? And it's wild that Nintendo, of all companies, is screwing people over with physical media this hard, because Nintendo owners have always been the biggest collectors of physical media, and now you're getting dicked because not only do you have to pay extra for the physical versions, but some of them don't even actually come with cartridges, they just come with a download code. And there is legitimately, I'm not even exaggerating, not a single reason for the prices on these games to be raised. Not one. There wasn't a reason back at the beginning of the generation with the PS5 and Series X. There isn't a reason for especially Switch games to have their prices raised. Like, why? Well, I know why. It's because they think they can get away with it. They honestly think people are dumb enough to spend $80 on this crap. And the worst part is, they're probably right. There's been a lot of outrage online, granted. However, you gotta remember, Nintendo especially has a massive casual audience, and there's probably going to be a lot of people who will just pick this stuff up anyway and be like, damn, price increase, that sucks anyway. I genuinely cannot fathom the balls that they have to charge $10 extra for a physical copy of a game. It costs literal cents or less to produce physical versions of games. Hence why, at least since like the 360 era, physical and digital media has cost the same. And what's even worse is that they are upgrading the previous games, like for the Switch, like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. You're gonna get upgrades for those, better frame rates, resolutions, whatever for the Switch too. Now, why is that a bad thing? That itself isn't. The problem is they are charging you for it. I am so sick of these stupid-ass console manufacturers charging you to get better frame rates and resolutions. Imagine if I had a 30 series card and then I went out and bought a 40 series and I wanted to raise my graphics and have a higher frame rate, but Nvidia stopped me and said, no, 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 you have to give us $10 more first. It is complete and utter bullcrap. Now, granted, some of the upgrades will be free. Wow, how absolutely generous of them. Some of their games get free upgrades. But don't be fooled, this is definitely them just testing the waters. And if they succeed in making people pay extra for upgrades like with the Zelda games, this is absolutely going to be the norm for all their games going forward. Now, I have seen that Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, the upgrades are included with Switch Online. Now, I cannot prove this for certain, I can't find it anywhere, but it would not surprise me in the slightest if you were to have Switch Online, so you had the frame rates boosted and all that, and then you unsubbed from Switch Online, it would take away your boost to the game, and you would be back down to like 1080-30. If that's the case, a table is getting flipped over, I swear to God. Like, imagine if you stopped paying a monthly subscription and then your frame rates got worse. This is exactly why I titled the video, The Switch 2 is everything wrong with modern console gaming. Everything is there. Games are getting more expensive for literally no reason. Paid online for basic features. A million accessories not included with the device, so you have to spend even more money. And I swear to God, it pisses me off so much seeing these Nintendo bootlickers out here defending the unjustified $10 or $20 price increase of games. To those people, just know this.
I hope you go camping and get fucked in the ass by an angry moose.
Every time you try to talk to one of these people, they're like, oh, well, you know, there's inflation. Companies have to keep up. No. No, these companies are making ridiculous profits on these games. They do not need to increase the prices. Boo-hoo, cry me a river. I'm so sad that Nintendo will only make $900 million off of Mario Kart instead of $1 billion. And then what really pisses me off, this is what really gets me going, is when people say, oh, well, actually, if you look back in the 80s and 90s, games used to be like $90 or $100. You want to know why that is? It's because gaming was new. It was more of a luxury. There weren't standard prices, and it was nowhere near as affordable. Nowadays, it is standard for games to be much more affordable. Because guess what? This happens with literally any product. A new invention comes out, it's super expensive at first, and then as time goes on, production costs go down, more companies start producing it, it gets cheaper to make, prices drop, and more people buy it, and the companies are still making a profit. I'll give you an example. I went to this really interesting website that shows like the progression of the cost of TVs over the last 100 years. I'll have it linked in the description unless I forget to. Hopefully I remember. And I'm not gonna go back to like the 40s or anything. Let's look at a recent example. In 2012, the first 4K TV was invented. Take a guess at how much it costs. I'll give you a few seconds. Do you have your answer? Okay, well, you're probably wrong. The answer is $20,000. That is, adjusted for inflation today, $27,421. Meanwhile, if you look up 4K TVs online, you can find a ton for under $1,000. And not like small ones either. You can find like 65-inch 4K TVs for only a few $100s. Because like I said before, it's a common technology now. Things are less expensive to make, so they don't have to charge an arm and a leg for the products. To all the people who are like, oh, well, games actually used to cost $90 and adjusted for inflation, that actually makes complete sense. Be honest, would you be okay if TVs went up in price by thousands of dollars? Would you be okay if a 4K TV today cost you 25 grand? Because technically adjusted for inflation, that's actually cheap compared to what it used to be. No, you'd probably be pretty upset about it, or at least you wouldn't be defending it. I don't know why people are so desperate to just bootlick these companies so hard. They're not your friends. There's no justifiable reason for these price increases. If you're not gonna fight back, because like, let's get that clear, I'm not demanding that everybody like be publicly outraged over this, but for the love of God, don't defend them. Also, and Luke just reminded me, thank you, sir, I was gonna loop back around to talking about Mario Kart again, because I think part of the reason they're charging so much is to make the bundle with the Switch look better. Because think about it, the Switch 2 itself costs $450, and then the bundle costs $500. So technically, you're saving $30 or $40 on Mario Kart if you buy that bundle. Wow, so generous, Nintendo. Except, no, it's not generous. You're creating artificial value by jacking up the price. It's like when Microsoft tried to make Game Pass better by jumping games to $70. Like, no, take your fake value and shove it. God, I'm pissed about this. It's no wonder they didn't include all these prices and whatnot in the Direct itself, because it would have a way worse dislike ratio than it does right now if that was the case. Please, God, let the video game industry crash. We desperately need it. If this wasn't the straw that broke the camel's back, GTA 6 costing $100, if that does happen, probably will be. I fully support these AAA companies going under and the rise of indie games. Like I said, you don't have to be publicly outraged over this. I'm never gonna demand that from people. people, but at least don't defend it, please, because you're gonna look like a dumbass, and you're gonna be rightfully called out. I swear to God, the only AAA games I look forward to now are Doom and any game FromSoft puts out, which, by the way, FromSoft is making a Bloodborne spiritual successor that is exclusive to the Switch too. I hate exclusivity so much. We really got a Bloodborne successor on the Switch before we got Bloodborne on PC officially. I saw a meme or like a comment or something about this, but somebody said that people asking for the next like Bloodborne game or whatever to not be exclusive to PlayStation was like a monkey's paw, where it's like, oh, okay, we won't make it exclusive to PlayStation, it's gonna be exclusive to the Switch instead. Oh, and one more thing before I go that I forgot to rant about. They're doing another 1-2 Switch thing where the tech demo for the console costs money, except this time, at least 1-2 Switch, I think that it was only like $50 instead of actual full price. Maybe I'm wrong about that, I honestly don't care. The tech demo this time costs a full $70. Even PlayStation, the brand, or at least one of the brands that popularized $70 games, gave you a free tech demo with the PS5. Nintendo is charging full price for it. I hate these stupid ass console manufacturers, and God, I hope this blows up in Nintendo's face. Jesus, okay, I'm getting lightheaded. I gotta calm down. Thankfully, I think, unless there's something else I forgot, that's all I've got to say. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go play some games and drown my sorrows. So yeah, with all that being said, that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and thank you if you just listened to me yelling and screaming for like 15 minutes straight. I really do appreciate it. Be sure to like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it, subscribe if you want to see more, join us every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern for Salt streams, and I will catch you all next time.